What's up, YouTube? It's Alyssa, and today I'm back with another video, y'all. And today I'm talking about family, parents, and just outgrowing family, because I don't know if y'all are going through this, but I mean, I always felt like the black sheep of my family, but now it's like, y'all remember when I was, but this video is gonna be about outgrowing family. So, like I said, I always felt like I was kind of like an outsider of the family. Like, I really have a memory when I was 4 years old, and I think my mom was cooking something, and no, they was eating something, and my grandfather, I said something, and my grandfather said something. I was like, damn, he kind of, what did I say? I was like, damn, he kind of mean. And then I was 5, and I was like, I don't know, like even from a young age, I can remember, like, I always kind of felt different from my family. Like, I always kind of felt like, you know, like I was there, like we had the same blood. I might look like them, but not like they was really me. And of course, like, I remember, so like it's been so much, like I used to argue with my family a lot. I used to get into a lot. They used to gang up on me. It really was crazy. Um, I cut off my dad's side of the family 3 years ago. I cut off the whole side. And I've been cut off my dad. I knew since I remember being in high school, being in middle school, being like, man, when I turn 18, I'm gonna move out. I didn't do that yet, but you know, I might that's another story. But yeah, sorry about the yawning, but yeah, I remember being like, I'm gonna move out. I remember, back when like, it's so crazy just saying back in high school. It feels like I was just in high school. But anyway, yeah, I remember like it would be times where in middle school, when I got into middle school, because my dad, like, he was an asshole. Like, he was very mean, very, I don't know, like, now that I look back, I know some people say our parents do the best that they can, but some people really shouldn't have kids. Like, I'm glad that I'm here. Well, I'm not gonna say that, but I'm not gonna say I'm glad that I'm here, but like, I'm not mad that I'm alive. Like, I'm not suicidal. Like, I'm grateful for I'm just like, I had some cool life experiences, but he really shouldn't have ever had kids. Like, I got so many story times. Like, if I told y'all, like, I'm not going to sit up here and tell y'all yet because I'm not that comfortable, but I remember that I would be telling people about some of the stuff I'd be going through with my family, or just some things that I'm thinking in my mind are normal. And, the more I started telling people this stuff, people would look at me like, are you okay? Or, what's going on? Or, dang, you're going through a lot. Sorry. Like, he was just so childish. Like, my dad was 35 years older than me, but he acted like he was 15, 16. And, I'm not trying to put his business out there, but it was no wonder too. Like, he couldn't find a girlfriend really. Like, I'm not bad, y'all, but like, some people really go through this. Like, he couldn't really find a girlfriend. What else? He said he couldn't find he would have relationship problems. Just he was crazy. But yeah, like, once like 7th grade came, I was like, I'm about to stop talking to him. Like, we would live in the same house, but I just try to, get my food and go in my room. Like, I don't know what it was, but he really was crazy. Like, I don't know what it was, but I really think he had a mental disorder or something. Like, I don't know. I really don't think he should have been a parent. But even then, my cousins, they was cool, but it was just always a lot of stuff going on. I was cool with my uncle, but I don't want to put his business out there, but he really had something going on mentally. He was, I ain't gonna say too much, but it was a therapist involved. with him. Uh, I don't know. Like now that I look back, like I'm not trying to be egotistical, but I be feeling like I'm older than my family. Like they supposed to be older than me, but I feel like I'm older than them. But I remember I started, but like once I turned 18, 17, that's when I really started to feel dang, I really can't relate to my family anymore. Like there's no connection, like I can go days without talking to them and I don't even miss them. I don't even think about them. Both my uncle, me and him, we was really cool, really close at first, but I don't know, once I had a spiritual awakening, like turned 17 and started learning about mental health and, just other stuff, I started realizing like these people, like, and my uncle, he was really childish too. Like he was cool, but just over some things, he would just get mad over things that didn't make sense. Like, I don't know, man. It's like they was like men, like, it's like they was like teenagers, You know how like when you in high school and you got some friends and y'all argue like get mad at each other over the dumbest things. Like that's what it was, man. It's crazy to think like like I still can't believe I came from that. Like dang, maybe that's so yeah. That was that situation. So I'm at my mom's side house now, and me and my mom, we never really talked like that. And I don't know, me and my mom, we never really had that relationship. I tried to get close to my mom, but for some reason, it's just like whenever I would like when we was younger, whenever I try to talk to her, she would just be like, you know, she just kind of like brush me off. Like I ask her a question and she'll just give me like or I don't know. Like for real, the only thing she would really talk to me about was school or if I got in trouble. That's the only time she would really talk to me. She'd be like, what's going on? Like, why you great? Why your grades aren't how they used to be, or why you look so sad? But other than that, like any other time, like she really would never talk to me. Like we never talked. And it would just be a lot of other stuff going on. My grandma, now I was really close to her. Like we used to be really cool. And yeah, she was cool. I'm gonna touch on her. My grandfather, I never liked him. I don't know, like he just was so like he was a type of person, like he was just so what's that word? Like serious about stuff. Like he was the type that like you gotta wake up at this time, you can't lay in bed. He wanted me to read all day, like really sit down and read a textbook all day, like no break, no TV. I don't know, man, like it was rough. One day, I think that might be my next video. I think I might do a story time of my childhood. I don't know. But we do gotta start talking about like tough childhoods and just stuff like that, just so we can bring awareness or, just so, if you see a kid in class who just seems a little off, instead of making fun of them, just think like, dang, maybe they don't have the best home life because, that's sometimes what it is. Sometimes people just need a little help. And I had an aunt, my aunt, this other aunt on my mom's side of the family. Me and her, we never really talked too much. Yeah, I was never really too close to anyone in my family, really. Not too many people. I had a cousin, but we fell out like a long time ago. She, my bad, y'all. I don't know why I get on here and start yawning. But we fell out a long time ago because basically, like, I was coming over her house. And now that I look back, she was never really a true cousin. But, when you're young and, because I couldn't go outside when I was younger and just a lot of stuff. But when I was with her, I could kind of go outside a little bit if she went outside. And, she was kind of funny. Like, she was kind of cool. Like, I liked her, but, I just wanted, like, to take, like, a break from being, just in the house so much. Because if I didn't have my cousins, I really couldn't do anything. Like, my childhood was low-key like a prison, you know. But, yeah, so I'm going to get into that. So I moved from my dad's house at, like, 18. And I started living with my mom and her side of the family. And, I try to talk to her, tell her things, but we could just never get close. Like, I could just never get close to her. Like, we'd have, like, talks, but it'll never be. And sometimes I start talking about it, like, start talking to her, I'll be like, what the, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, I just be noticing little things, like, about how she thinks or the way she sees life. And, it's nothing wrong with that. I'd be like, dang, like, So this year comes around and I don't have a job and just stuff like that because I got fired from every job. I really just started just noticing, like, dang, like just little things, she would just make a big deal about it, or I don't know, like, it's like she just always saw the worst in things. So I was like, nah, I just feel like me and my mom aren't meant to have a relationship. Like, me and my mom, we really don't talk right now at all. I just stopped trying. I think my mom's getting to that point where she's done trying. I don't know. I be feeling so weird sometimes because I'm like, but I thought with family, you're supposed to be close to them. You're supposed to, try to talk to them. But it's like I just feel so different from my family. Like, I just feel like my family ain't even my real family. But I be watching YouTube videos and they say people, like, who are gonna break generational curses, or like, the people who end up being spiritual always feel like the odd ones out. But there's something called, like, a soul family, like your soul tribe, your soul family. And there's something like, and then, like, there's a family you're born to. So that might explain it, because I be looking down and sometimes I low-key be feeling like my mom's a stranger. Like, I be feeling like, because sometimes I do ride around, like, if I'm, at the mall and the bus is taking slow, because I don't got my own car yet. But if the bus is moving slow and, just something like that, or if it's raining, I'll be like, Mom, can you give me a ride? Or, we'll go grocery shopping together because, I shop at, like, you got to shop around to save money. So I shop at, like, 3 different grocery stores. But, when you take the bus be taking, like, forever, right? Sometimes you just get to one place. It might take 2 hours depending on, how the bus is running. So, just to save time and so I don't have to, just keep going to different stores and just be on the bus all day, I'll just, grocery shop with my mom. I just go grocery shopping with her. But sometimes, low-key, like, when we in that car, we don't say nothing to each other. We don't talk nothing. And sometimes, low-key, I really be feeling like my mom's a stranger. Like, I'll be like, dang, I really came out of her? Because it don't be feeling like it. And my grandma, me and her, I still love my grandma. I still have a lot of love for my grandma because, she's, like, been there for me. Like, she's the only one in my family who, never really talked about me. We never really had any serious arguments. She never really mistreated me. She would pour into me and give me compliments. But lately, the past couple of years, like, especially now when I'm coming over her house, like, and it could be, like, a mindset thing too, because this is, like, older. I don't know, though, because it's some people who, they, like I be seeing, well, now that I think about it, I don't really see it. Be some people who be like, dang, well, maybe, or they just, most people aren't this honest. Maybe most people just aren't this honest, but now that I think about it, I don't really see too many of my people posting, like, they family or parents either. So I don't know. I feel like most people, like, I'm gonna be honest, I really think like, especially in the black community, especially like when it's like middle class or people who don't have that much money. I really don't think most parents who had kids really planned them. Not saying that they didn't want them or wish they wanted an abortion, but just saying like, if they had the kid, if they didn't have the kid, they wouldn't have been, wouldn't have affected them too much. They would have just got on. Like they probably wouldn't have had that burning desire to have kids, or, most of them probably would be like, what would life be like if I didn't have kids? Or dang, like, how much money would I have saved, or energy would I have saved if I didn't have kids? Because, like, I ain't gonna lie, that's why I be like, I low key be hesitant too. Like, if I probably wouldn't birth kids, but if I ever was to have kids, the only way I would have kids is like adoption. But sometimes I don't even want to do that, not even because of the financial part, but just because like having a kid is kind of like a lot of responsibility. Like you're really responsible for a whole person's life. And then what people don't know about having kids is like the way you treat them and the experiences they have with you is the experiences they'll have with other people. Like, I don't know if y'all know, but like, unless somebody really locks in, if somebody had, like, I don't know if y'all seen the movie. Y'all ever seen the movie Butterfly Effect? It was the first one with Ashton Kutcher. And basically, it was like something where she ended up staying with like abusive. I think it was her real dad, her abusive dad, and basically he was like, I don't want to say it because I know how YouTube can be, but he was like aping her. And long story short, like they did all the scenes, like all different, like it was crazy. They did all the different versions of reality, like, and in all of them, when she stayed with that like abusive parent, all of them, her lives was like messed up. Like I think one, she was a stripper. There was another one, she was working as a waitress, and the customers was like disrespecting her. But they did the reality where she picked to just stay with her mom and never even meet the abusive dad. And guess what that reality was? She grew up, she was happy, and she got married. Like I'm telling y'all, like it's so deep with having kids. Like when you have kids, people think it's just you raise a human, you feed them every day, and you give them clothes and you help them grow. But no, like you really are like in control of your whole kid's life. Like, I think that's why they say in the hood, like it's just so deep. Like, you're like, especially with the relationship you have with your parents, like, like you being a parent is more than just like you set the kid up for the friends they gonna have, the relationship they gonna have, the type of money they make. You know what I mean? Because depending on how your parents are with money, you can pick up on those beliefs, and then you might end up having the same money beliefs as them unless you work really hard. So it's like, that's why I just be like, and that's why I just be like, do I really want kids? Because do I really want to have that much control and power over one person's life? And parents don't even realize that. Like most people, like those are the things that we're not taught. When you have a kid, you are really in charge of their whole life unless they really put in the hard work. But 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be easy for them. Like, even if a kid puts in that work to break those limiting beliefs, that's going to be a lot of work for somebody to put in. But anyway, yeah, so with my grandma, it's like, now when I be coming over her house and I be like hearing her, like sometimes like, I don't want to sound mean when I say this, but like, I just be doing it just because like, I know my grandma likes my company, but like, sometimes I look, you really don't be wanting to. Like, I really don't be like, because with my grandma, it's like she mostly just talks about like the past, and it just be the same stuff all the time. And I don't know, like I really just don't feel like we click anymore. Some of y'all gonna be like, I know some, like, and I'm not trying to be ungrateful because I know there's people who don't have family. I know there's people whose mom died and whose dad died, and my heart goes out to you. But like sometimes too, like you can have family and they don't even feel like they're family. Like most people don't get to that. Maybe most people just aren't that honest though, because like people say, like we see all the time, people who have like people try to be grateful, I guess, but nobody talks about when you feel like an outsider in your own family either. Um, but yeah, like when I be talking to my grandma for the past couple of years, like most of the time, I be feeling like I'm kind of just like making myself do it because I just I just really try to hold on to that bond because when we were younger, the bond, like our bond was just really strong and we were just always very close. But now I just feel like I'm just not on the same wavelength as her. I just feel like when we talk, it's not, like the flow of the conversation isn't there. But that's all I really wanted to talk about. Just outgrowing family. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And let me know what y'all think. Are y'all close with y'all family, or are y'all not close with y'all family? But that's it.